which has always been here. You know, I mean, one thing about being a grown black man is you've kind of seen it all.
Mm-hmm.
And but to see, you know, it kind of erupt and be a powder keg has been really interesting to watch. So you know, and also in the meantime, to hope you will get back to work as comedians, you know, and so, you know, I'm watching the commentary with sports.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, Kyrie was having a conversation about not going back to work, and then Stephen A. Smith came and answered him, said, "How dare y'all not go back to work?" And I'm like, "Hey, y'all need to shut up, because I'm ready to go back to work." You know what I'm saying?
We all ready to go to work right now. You know what I'm saying?
And I mean, I get it. I get what Kyrie's saying, and I get, you know, what a lot of the millionaires are saying.
Mm-hmm.
But those of us who are working class, you know, it ain't as easy to say I'm gonna sit at home for another 3 months. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, but you know, it's still, you know, if you black and you over 30, you might have a pre-existing condition. So
it's true.
You got to think about that. So then you go out, you put the damn mask on. So now I got the mask on. Now I got anxiety from having the damn mask on.
You can't even wear a mask without almost killing yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's
it's crazy, Joe. So, you know, my revelation has been this. I was looking. I'm like, man, what if there is an enemy? What are they trying to achieve?
Mm-hmm.
And to me, what they're trying to achieve is to get us out of our minds.
Right.
You know, like it's not as big a physical attack as it seems. It's more of a mental attack. It's more attacking our minds and our psyche. And if you really look at it, over the last 300 years, they hit us with everything but the kitchen sink.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We still here. And so you have to give that some credence, you know.
Yeah.
You got, I mean, if you black, especially in this country, they hit you with slavery. They hit you with Jim Crow laws. They hit you with, you know, all type of racial discrimination. They hit you with redlining. They hit you with economic. They hit you with crack cocaine, heroin. You know, they took your fathers out of the home. They, you know, and we still here.
That's a fact.
You know, so that in itself makes us super gangster.
Super gangster. What up, Banks? Appreciate you tapping in, brother. What's going on?
Well, I'm all the way gangster. I don't know that. Right? I'm gangster. Like that's just me. Like I'm with the Malcolm X shit. Eye for an eye. Like I'm with that.
Hey, you know what, Marcus, man? I'm not against that. But my concern when it comes to that conversation is you dealing with a group of people that's been stockpiling weapons and ammunition for 40 or 50 years. Mm-hmm. I'm concerned that if we get into a real race war, we're not gonna have enough bullets unless we just debo they shit and just start taking.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and we buying handguns and they picking us off with shotguns walking up the street.
Right. What you said, Banks?
You see it in Florida a lot of times, like during these protests. I've seen a lot of protests, and you know what the news will show, and then other videos you'll see and you put your mind to. I seen like people pulling out M4s while like, you know, us black folks is pulling out 45. So it's like, are you really gonna go to war with something that could ring off 3 shots per second compared to you busting a pap? Like it's like all the nights when he was like, stop shooting that little ass gun. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
nah, that's for not me. That's so true. What up, Neko? Thank you for tapping.
What up, family? How are you?
We good, man. How are you, man? How you feeling about the climate of everything? That's where we at right now. How you feeling?
It's complicated because there's a part of me that's I'm proud of the people that are joining the cause, like the white people that seem to be interested. But there's another part of me that feels like a lot of you motherfuckers weren't listening when we were complaining before. You know what I'm saying? Like
I feel like they still not listening, Neko.
100%. What's up, big dog? How are you?
I'm with you too.
You know what I mean? I feel like at the end of the day, a lot of people are kind of acting like they're with the cause, but it hasn't really gotten serious yet. You know what I mean? Because we can't take this off. So when they actually starts to get serious, then we'll figure out who's actually on our side. But right now, I don't know. It's complicated. The news is really hurting me. It's more the people that are getting hanged and they're trying to play them off as suicides because that's some old Klan shit, you know. So yeah, complicated. As you can tell, I'm in the Brooklyn Navy Yard in the hallway. You know, trying to make sure the feds don't have the conversation.
I'm actually at a Father's Day cookout, and I had to come to my house. I'm throwing a cookout right now as we speak.
Ah, shit, man. Y'all ducking into everybody plans.
I mean, so I gotta ask y'all this.
Yeah.
And listen, y'all comedians, I'm gonna go to you, Rodney, first. Your man, not your man, Trump. Trump, you know, planning this big ass rally, saying 1 million people was gonna be there, and he barely could get, you know, a couple hundred people. So what, you know, is he really trying to divide us? You feel like, or you just feel like this is him pulling all these damn stunts last minute?
I mean, I don't think he we're not his audience anyway.
Correct.
So, this is just some facts, okay? Donald Trump won, you know, and at some point, if you're a member of this country, you just got to go. You lost. If you voted for the other guy, you lost. Mm-hmm. It's okay, and that's okay. You know. Now, how did he win? He basically, halfway through the election, he switched strategy. He changed and he began to run on the same platform Obama won on. See, Obama was really special. So Obama didn't really have a pedigree to be the president. He was a junior senator. He was only a community organizer, and so for him to ascend to the presidency was remarkable. So what did he do? He ran on change, right? Yep. The one thing he ran on was change. Change. We're gonna make some change. Change, right? So Obama ran on change. He just was talking to a different audience.
Right.
Right.
He was talking to the anti-Obama audience. He was talking to everybody that was fearful about losing their position, i.e., white America. And that's even the good white folks, Neko, that's your friends. That's good white. They all were fearful, even if it was implied, even if they not racist, they have position, and that position was when you see Obama at the top of the rung, that's scary.
Mm-hmm. That's
and so the country reacted to that, and you elect Donald Trump, which is the total polar opposite of Barack Obama.
Opposite. Right.
So he's really like a comedian. If you ever trip off of it, every time somebody comes again, he just roast their head.
Yeah.
He's like the number one roaster. Every time somebody says something, he roasts. And the thing that weakened him the most, which is why he's weak now, is he can't roast a pandemic.
Right.
He has to be presidential. He has to calm people down, bring people together. And he does not know how to do that. And so he needs these rallies to go back to roasting people.
Work. Yep. Otherwise, the gimmick won't work. You know, and with a guy like that, it's like Trump is one of those people that I worry about himself. I worry about the people that he incites because he plays that old Klan shit to where he'll come out and he'll say something, and then the people that will be incited by that, they'll hear it. Then he'll come back and clarify it for the rest of us and say some bullshit. When he said, oh, well, we need to make sure we dominate these people. That's old Klan public speaking techniques. Right. Old Klans members that used to be mayors and shit like that, they would come out and say shit like, well, you know, we're having a picnic today at 7:00, right? The next thing you know, that's where you get them pictures. You know what I'm saying? The people that understood, they act on that shit. So I don't know if he's connected to the hangings, but it's just odd to me that he said that thing about dominating, and then in a couple places where they're actually talking about defunding police, you're starting to hear about kids, teenagers hanging from trees and they're ruining them to suicides. I think
personally, personally with Donald Trump, I think he has ADD. Like he always has to be the center of attention. Like if there's no attention for him, there's nothing for him to go off of. Then it's like he has no gimmick. It's like as we
it's time to tweet.
Yeah, if you know, like certain comedians, if you know a comedian got that solid 5, and then after that it's like, he ain't got nothing else. That's Donald Trump. Like he has that solid 5, and then it's off. You know what I mean? He's not a feature. He's not he's just solid, popped in at a show and boom.
He the guest spot. Yeah.
Yeah, good guest spot. Great.
Yeah.
He's the greatest guest spot person ever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I always felt like that. And the insight that Rodney just gave us, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've always been a good fan of Rodney, and we've crossed paths a couple times. But this insight from listening to A Clever Gentleman really made me understand a little bit more of how America looks at this guy and how, you know, us being minorities in their eyes, it's like we really don't matter to this man.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Let's talk about that though, guys. I was thinking about this the other day. Who told us we was minority? Like, really? Like,
exactly.
Think about this.
Exactly.
Think about this, Neko.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked up white people. I Googled it the other day. So what is white? What is white and what is black? Okay. We identify as black because we are products of the slave trade and we lost our language and our culture, right?
Right.
Unless you West Indian or something like that, and you still got brought there on the same slave trade, just got off the boat earlier. So
earlier, it's a fact.
Right. So what's white? So white people are really interesting when they start to push out minority and being 12% of the population. You got to during slavery, we outnumbered them. It was like 7 million we like numbered them 2 or 3 to 1 because they had brought up so many. We start multiplying. So then you say they start creating this whole concept of minority versus majority. But what did they do? They took on all these white people that wasn't historically white. They took on.
There you go.
They took on the Polish. They took on all the Czechoslovakian, all these Caucasian people that they was enemies. The Italians wasn't cool.
Yeah, the Irish.
Look at all the old Italian movies. They was like the niggas of the white world.
Fact though.
Fact.
Preach.
Fact. And look how they split us up when it came to the Hispanics and whatnot. They'll tell Hispanics in a minute, you're not connected to us. Because if you really look at it, if you add up the 12% of black people and then you add up Hispanics, that's more than 50% of this country. And it's over. It's
12% people that identify as African American. But when you start looking at black, if everybody of color said they was black tomorrow, we gotta outnumber them like probably 2 to 1.
That's a fact.
Easy. Yo, gentlemen, I want to thank y'all for letting me come in and chop it up with y'all for a minute.
Appreciate you, brother.
You know what I mean? I got to jump off, but great to see y'all. Stay safe.
Appreciate you,
and I hope
Neko.
to see you soon. No doubt. Appreciate
know.
y'all. Peace.
I want to ask y'all this, Banks, and I'm gonna go to Banks first, then Rodney. Do you feel like it's time for a woman? They saying VP, but do you think it's time for a woman president?
Well, you could say it would be changed. You know what I mean? I would want to see how a woman would run this world. If I were to see a woman run this world from what I've seen, that Atlanta mayor, I wouldn't mind seeing her putting her 2 cents in the back.
Keisha Bottoms?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind her. Harris, I feel like Harris has she's a double Dutch type of person. It's like I'm ready, but I'm not ready. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't mind seeing a female go and change. And the reason why I like Keisha Bottoms is because she's very forceful and she understands both sides. It's not like it's just, it's black and it's white. It's like, yo, right is right and wrong is wrong. So I wouldn't mind if I seen her per se. That's just my vote if I were to see that person. Hillary is like, she had good ways of getting under Donald Trump's skin, but she was like the cheating girlfriend that got caught when they found all those files. It was like, she froze up, so.
What you think, Rodney?
Are we ready for a female? Absolutely. Will we see a female? I don't know. As president, we might see a female running mate for Joe Biden, but Joe Biden might lose. Joe Biden might lose. We've seen. It wouldn't be the first time we've seen a female running mate. John McCain had a female running mate, and the girl from Alaska. I can't think of her name right now.
Harris.
Sarah Palin.
Sarah Palin. He had a female running mate. So if he won, he would have had a female vice president. So I think this is the thing, man. As much as this question really attacks our sexism too. America is sexist, ageist, racist, and all of those wounds are really deep. So there is a glass ceiling for women, no matter how intelligent they are. It's a glass ceiling for women in comedy. You know what I mean? So what I like to see I would love to see a black woman. I agree with you, Marcus, in terms of I like Keisha Lance Bottoms because she feels like, a mama. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Feel like you're going to listen to her, and she has that thing that calms people down.
Right.
She has that thing that Obama had. But I wonder how effective she could be like Obama because, they did everything they could do to damn squash everything he did. And then once he get out, right, they start changing all the stuff he put in place.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Ultimately hurting us now. All that epidemic shit he put in place, Trump got rid of that day one.
He did.
And now we're in the pandemic, confused as hell.
Yeah. Speaking of changes, Sam Cooke said it best, change gonna come. We've been seeing, all over the place, name brands change from Aunt Your Mama to Cream of Wheat, the Uncle Ben's thing, Mrs. Butterworth. How y'all feel about these changes now versus all along?
My thing is like, I guess
Rodney shaking his head.
Yeah, as you hear a lot of things, it just, I don't know. My main thing is now this what it comes to? Like, really? Like, y'all didn't see this from jump?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it goes back to what.
But in the meantime, Joe, my fault. I'm gonna jump off this call because I gotta get back to my cook.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, you got people down there eating up your food.
Yeah. But Rodney, I'm gonna DM you, man. I got an idea, and I thank you for your time. Joe, thank you for having me.
You already know, bro.
And we'll definitely connect. All right.
Hit me up.
All right.
No. It's probably like Neko said, man. Like now, you know what I mean? It's like I feel like they're almost pandering to us. Like. Right. What'll calm them down? What can we do? What empty gesture can I do that's not gonna hurt my bottom line that'll make them feel better?
Right.
Ain't nobody renaming the Redskins.
I was just gonna say the Redskins been like that forever.
And they done said it. We ain't changed.
The Cleveland Indians.
Let me tell you something about white rich people. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Rich white people do what they want to do. Period. Whether it's the NFL and NBA owners, if you rich and you white and you rich and white, you do what you want to do.
Double time.
Like so I take a picture off of the box. I mean, if some kind of way that lady family is drawing royalties from that,
yeah,
I want her picture to stay on there. I don't know that. Matter of fact, I saw on Instagram, somebody tagged me, a girl I know, her grandmother's mother was that image.
Really?
Yes. And
that's cool.
I didn't watch the whole video, but I think they was like, yo, hold on.
Yeah.
My grandmother's been getting $8 a week from this for the system.
From that alone.
Let my grandmother stay on there.
Let it live.
So, I mean, this is the thing. And we have to be conscious of this as Black people. Anytime there's a collective shift in Black culture and it affects somebody. I've talked to some Black exploitation actors, right?
Right.
And you talk to them guys, they said, Rodney, we wasn't exploited, we was working.
Mm-hmm.
They was working. And so when people say, oh, I don't want to be exploited no more, they wasn't actors. They said I want to be exploited. Guess what? All the people stopped working.
Right.
So you got all Jackie Brown, all these great actors, Fred Ward, all these guys.
Mm-hmm.
They went from working to not working. That was some bullshit. Step and Fetch It, which was his real name was Lincoln Perry. Lincoln Perry at the turn of the century was the first Black actor to make $1 million. $1
million.
$1 million. This is the turn of the century. This is when people was getting like 8 cents a day. He had $1 million. That's like $1 billion right now. And guess what? because of the images he portrayed, people decided they didn't want to look like that no more. And the man ended up dying penniless. So we have to be conscious of the world shifting and leaving certain people behind.
Yeah.
You know, and so, but to answer your question more clearly, it's a cool gesture, but
yeah,
it might be some bullshit.
Might be some bullshit. I gotta ask you this. You know, one of the dopest things about this show, we try to keep it real, talk about stuff that's going on in the world, and also we like to talk about stuff that folks may not know. So I ain't gonna throw nothing crazy, but stuff like
throw it.
You know, you've been on television, you've been in, you know, Tyler Perry movies, I've seen you do stand-up, I've seen you, you know, entertain people all across the country. But what were you like in middle school, my brother? I'm talking 6th, 7th grade. It's one of my signature questions. What were you like in middle school before you became who you were today?
No, dude, to be honest, I was telling jokes in like 2nd grade. I had a teacher, this is a very true story. I had a teacher that would let me tell jokes at the end of the day if I shut up throughout the course of the day. So I was aware of comedy, but what I will say is I was not the funniest. You know, I grew up on the south side of Chicago, and Chicago is just funny people. Like, it was dudes that never would walk on stage and tell a joke that was way funnier than me.
Right.
Like, this dude, Jeff was so, he would joan you so hard that he would get into a fight like every day because he would just joan you relentlessly till you had to fight him. And he was nice, so you didn't even want to fight him.
Yeah, it was a rap. Right.
And so I grew up around some really funny people, man. My friends playing football, even in high school, it was funny, man. And so I guess what I was like, I wasn't a class clown because my mother would kick my ass, but you know, I would do a lot. I was definitely a funny guy early on.
Oh, okay. You know, you do stand-up comedy. You're a dad as well. Happy Father's Day month, my brother.
I know. I take it. I take that.
To you. Yeah. What is the weirdest job you've ever had? What craziest, maybe?
Weirdest, craziest. I work for a modeling agency.
Okay.
I wasn't a model, but I did. I did that entry, so I got to like rub elbows with all these pretty girls and stuff. That was like a dope job.
Okay.
Interesting job. Dude, I was in the Navy. That was my first. Here's my job history.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you everything in
break it down.
30 words.
Okay.
I graduated high school. I mulled around, went to college for a year and a half.
Right.
Then I joined the Navy for 8 years. Get out of the Navy. I in the effort to pursue comedy, packed my family up, moved to LA, but I started doing a lot of temp jobs. So I temped at all kind of places. I did a lot of data entry because I had clerical skills. But I did some manual labor. I worked at a call center for 4 hours. And I left there and I was like, I ain't never going back there. I
ain't doing this no more.
I was selling like, we were selling over the phone printer ribbons.
Printer ribbons. That's cold.
And people would get you on the phone and be like, no, click, no, click, no. I was like, 4 hours of that, I was like, I don't want no part of that.
Right.
I did that. My last regular job was at the VA, the Veterans Administration. And I met like this disabled vet, and me and him was talking at lunch. I'd been there a couple of weeks, and they was actually considering hiring me. And he was like, "What you doing here?" And I'm like, I do data entry. He's like, no. Why you in LA? I said, well, I came here to be a comedian, maybe an actor, you know. He said, well, you got to get out of here.
Yeah.
And I walked out of there. I ain't done nothing but comedy since then. And that was 2000.
Okay.
Right, 2000.
I noticed you have one of the livest, I say it like that. And yes, I said one of the livest Instagram live shows. I'm not just saying that because I was actually on it. I'm saying it because to build up the love that's there, the people that stop in and Just talking more about that live and how'd you get it so lit, man?
Man, you know what? Ali Sadiq is my buddy. So Ali started the Corona Comedy Club.
Okay.
Right? Which is a virtual comedy show. And he did it at a perfect time because as a comedian, like I said, I wasn't performing and I was fiending to perform.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, okay, this is dope. And so Ali did that. And I was like, I want to do comedy, but I don't want to do the same thing he's doing.
Right.
And I'm like, if that's a comedy club, what do we need other than that? I was like, we need an open mic. We need somewhere people can go and work out a couple of minutes. If they're going to go on there, they can get a feel for it here. And I'll be their audience. I'll laugh. I'll give them the energy. And we'll figure it out. Yeah. And we'll keep it a short amount of time so you don't feel the pressure of having to go long.
That's a fact.
And so I said, okay, 2 minutes is a cool amount of time. And if you got any thoughts, come do them that week. Mm-hmm. And what I learned about the internet is the secret to the internet is always consistency. You just got to keep it up.
That's a fact.
And so after 5 or 6 weeks, people were like, yo, Rodney go be there. I'm going to hit up on Monday. I want to do a set. Boom. You say, hey, Rod, I got something to do, but I'm going to come through afterwards. I got you, Joe. So it was like, okay, it's because, and I've met some comics that I didn't know. Yeah. I would have had to come to your city to meet you. Now we on social media. We get the real deal connect.
That's a fact. Rodney.
And so it's been real cool, man.
What are you binging on when you have time at the crib? Like Netflix. What are some of the things you find yourself getting caught up, or you might, some people might not know about you, something that you like to watch. Now that
I've been doing the binge thing. Like I watched this one thing about a guy. The guy died, but he didn't really die, and they brought him back. It's like
movie?
It's like a TV series, but
okay.
What's the name of that shit? It was weird, but I watched it. This is the thing. I'm so impatient. I'll watch like 3 or 4 episodes, and then I'll watch the last 3 or 4 episodes. My kid's like, what are you doing? I was like, I can't. Whatever's going to happen in the middle ain't going to have nothing to do with the last 3 episodes.
I'm with you.
I watched the first 3 and the last 3, and then I know I got the gist of the whole thing. So I watched that. I watched the gangster series with what's my man name? The Harlem.
Yeah.
The guy, the King of Harlem, or whatever he.
Godfather of Harlem.
Godfather of Harlem. I watched that. Yeah. That was dope. I think I got about 6 episodes in before I jumped to the end.
You got impatient again, right? You got impatient again.
Like, okay. He's making friends with the Italians. Okay, what happens next? I watched this series called Since One, and then I'll catch a movie like I watched the movie the Jay Farrell movie last night with Cat Williams.
Okay.
I watched that last night.
I didn't see it yet, but I heard it was okay. It was okay.
It was okay. As a comedian, watching your peers and stuff on the screen, it's always dope. And then it kind of spoke to the conversations we have about internet comedians.
Right.
And so I thought it was interesting because of that. And it was good to see Cat on film. I like Cat. Cat is a good actor. Yeah. I like Cat.
I want to ask you this. You just said a good point, something I was thinking. A lot of times, I don't know if we ask each other or this gets asked in interviews and conversation. Do you watch other stand-up comedians like all right, like for example, Chappelle's dropped the special. Did you are you the type of comedian where you'll see something, I need to watch this. I need to
I watch them all.
Right.
I watch most, like that's what I'm doing. If I'm up late at night, I'm probably watching some comedy, and I know myself enough not to borrow or regurgitate it.
Of course, right.
But that's the only reason you wouldn't watch it. Like I know comics like, man, I ain't watch that. But you got to know those are people that end up stealing because they don't know what's out there.
That's a fact. That's a great point, Rodney. Great point.
Like my buddy and I, you got to have peers, and your peers are for this. Your peers are for when you get a good idea that you got to go to somebody. Go, hey, dog. Have you ever heard this?
Right.
And your peer got to be straight enough with you. Go, yeah, that's kind of like what's the name? Remember what's the name had that? You know what? God, dog, he do. All right, and it's gone. If you don't have that, you can run up in somebody's backyard and don't know you in their backyard.
That's a fact.
And so I definitely watch comedy. I watch specials. You know, if you want to do a special, you got to start to put ideas together.
Fact.
You got to start, you know, like Deion Cole did something really interesting to me. And to the naked eye, no, probably nobody tripped off this. But when I talked to him, he was like, dude, it's crazy you noticed that. He didn't walk on stage. He didn't walk. They didn't say, ladies and gentlemen, Deion Cole, and he walk out, grab the mic, and start talking. They ladies and gentlemen, Deion Cole, and the lights come up, and he was there. Nobody did. He was already there. It was just a lighting cue.
And you can't tell from the Netflix special the way they cut it. So, yeah.
No, they cut it like it was. He came up, boom. It was every other special you see is a walk-on.
Right.
You know, now, if I watch the whole special, it's up to you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll start most of them, and like I watched Patton Oswalt the other day, who me and him go way back. I got through about 9 minutes of that shit. Was like, all right, talk to your ass later.
I can't give you 9 more minutes right now.
But I watch every single minute of the Chappelle stuff. Right. All he did, the last 3, and this new one. I mean, this is what's crazy, man. To generate 3 hours of material. First of all, I know some of that stuff Chappelle been working on over 10 years.
Exactly. That's a fact.
You know, all that Iceberg Slim stuff he did, I saw him do some of that stuff in the club before. I saw it. And so I was like, yo, this dude has really been rocking and waiting and chilling and preparing for a long time.
That's interesting. I mean, yeah, I think it's important for us to watch and support each other. You said something that just struck too. How do you know what's out there when you're putting together a special and things like that? So I'm definitely with that. I want to bring something back. The Father's Day discussion in the house. You know, I'm a father myself. With everything going on, do you find the conversations are different in the house with the kids and everything? Do you find like that dialogue is different based off of what's going on?
Different. Not necessarily different, just more prevalent. You know, I had a conversation with my 10-year-old about Juneteenth yesterday. You know, I mean, she was like, you know, she's so interested in me. She's an interesting little girl, and she's like, well, we gotta have certain, we gotta eat, we gotta watch, we gotta spend family time together. You know, my baby is the one that always gather us, right? Like it's an episode of Soul Food, right?
Right.
Good. She's good for that, right?
Yeah.
And so she had all these plans. And I was like, do you even know what Juneteenth is? And she was like, it's got something to do. She was kind of foggy on it. So we talked and we went through the whole thing. And I explained to her, you know, what I knew about. We put it up on the internet. We looked at it. The Roots have a cool little cartoon video where they kind of explained it. And so, you know, this atmosphere created a bubble where we had to have a conversation.
Right.
And then I got also a 17 and 19-year-old that want to go out and protest, right? And I had to have a difficult conversation with them, like, no, you know,
right.
Like, I can't let you go out there because I don't know what it's going to evolve into. So how about this? And then that night was crazy because they did end up rioting and everything. And I was like, if I had let my daughters go into the heart of that, I would never forgive myself. Yeah. So, you know, and I have a son that I got to always have a conversation about get home, you know? So, as a father, man, it's really, it's a difficult thing to navigate right now. You know, every one of your children need a different lesson. They're at different points of their lives.
Yes,
you
sir.
know? But that's kind of what it is. You know, I tell my wife all the time, I say, the difference between me and you is I'm okay being wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I'm very comfortable being like going, oh yeah, that was my bad. But guess what? You're gonna do what I told you to do.
Facts.
You know, and so I make it a point not to be wrong a lot. Mm-hmm. But if I am wrong, yeah, my bad. Okay, let's move on. Let's fix it. You know, so yeah.
I got a couple more, and then I'm gonna get you out. I don't want to take too much of your time. Like I said, thank you for coming on a Saturday. Who's your top 5? And no, this ain't a judge. This ain't like a right or wrong. What's your top 5 of comedy of all time? I like to ask and just get perspective of who we like. And, you know, sometimes you may hear some different ones that you probably never even heard of because everybody's different. So who's Rodney's top 5 in comedy all time?
Well, you know, you got 5. You take 2 off the list right away. Richard Pryor.
Yep.
Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy comes straight off for me. Richard Pryor, because it was Richard that I first listened to on the record.
Right.
You know, that I would sit, my mother and them had a huge record collection, and I would listen to this dude and just crack up. And I still own all that stuff. Like right here in my office right now, I got the Richard Pryor box set joint. With every word he ever said in. You know, I don't even have a CD player, and I got this. And so, like, if you look up, like, I'm a huge Richard Pryor fan, so if you look over there, that was a T-shirt. That was a T-shirt that I got somebody painted. I had put in that frame. You know, I got a shadow box of Richard Pryor because we had the same initials too.
Correct.
And so Richard Pryor is definitely top of the list, and I believe he's the GOAT. You know, he changed comedy. He changed the landscape. You know, and when people change the landscape, I think they should be on the list. Yeah. Eddie Murphy, again, changed the landscape. He was a transition. He was really the transition that led and paved the way for Def Jam to even be able to happen.
Fact.
So Def Jam don't happen without Eddie Murphy changing that game. So Richard Pryor changed the game. Eddie Murphy changed the game. And then you go further down the line, because I'm from Chicago, I lean toward and these guys are usually my 1A and 1B because I believe they're interchangeable. Robin Harris and Bernie Mac, they're like the
Robin
same.
Harris.
They're like the same guy to me though. Like if Robin doesn't die, I don't know if we get to feel Bernie the same way, you know. And so Bernie picked up that mantle. So if I had to pick one, I would say Robin. But in lieu of Robin, I would definitely say Bernie. So they're number 3, A and B. And then I always like to put a woman on the list, and I would put my friend that I was able to tour with. I've seen her comedy up close. I've seen her create up close, and I don't think there's a woman in comedy that's better than her, and that's Monique.
Yes,
to
she's my woman always when I make my 5. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think. I mean, and you know, everybody has their own taste. You know, Wanda Sykes gets a mention. You know, some more gets a mention. And you know, female Black comics don't get to be like really pretty girls either. You ever tripped over that?
I agree.
Like,
I agree with you, brother.
You got white pretty girls that do comedy all over, but you don't have no. You know, Tiffany Haddish. You know, I like this girl, Pretty Ricky.
Yeah, Pretty Ricky. Yep.
She's gorgeous and funny, but it's still such a tough role for her. You know, but it's a tough to be Black. Even Black dudes. Think about it. Ain't no gorgeous Black dude comics. we all regular looking to ugly.
Right. There you go. You ain't lying. You stupid.
Michael Black's as successful as hell. He is horrible looking. I tell him to his face. He know it. But so then that brings us up to the contemporaries. I really, you know, that brings me to Cat or Kevin. You know, I'm a Cat Williams fan because we were peers. We was in the same peer group together. I think Cat is comedically sound, but the thing is tools that Kevin have that Cat don't have. Right. You know, and Cat is as likable as Kevin, but everybody don't like Cat.
That's a fact.
Everybody like Kevin. And Kevin knows how to maximize that. But because everybody like Kevin don't take as many chances. So Cat is willing to talk about more reckless topics. Facts. So I like that about Cat. So Cat might get the nod on that one from me. And then the guy who I think is the GOAT right now, Mr. Dave Chappelle, you know, and I think Chappelle is brilliant. And I think he's brilliant because he's a smart guy.
Right.
I mean, he might be. Dude, I heard this dude do a joke about how the Aborigines would trick the baboons to show them where the water was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why do you even know that?
Like, why do you even know that joke?
Why do you even have that fact in your head to make a joke about it? And so that speaks to his intellect, you know, that he's well read. And if any comics is watching this, if you try to figure out how to get better, put more stuff in here.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you can crack jokes about, you got more stuff that's fodder, because everything is gonna pass through your comedic filter. So the more stuff you got in there, the more it increase your ability to be funny about those things.
Damn, I mean that was a gem right there. That was a gem. Listen, man, Rodney, I appreciate you. Leave us with something positive, man, with everything going on. Before you give me your handles and everything, like you said, comedians always watching. Give us something right now, something positive to close this out.
I mean, you know what, man? That would have been a super hard question for me 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was angry. I was upset. I was about to go purchase several guns. I was ready for the revolution, and I still am. But something occurred to me. I'm like, what are they trying to do? If we have an enemy, what is his goal?
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to take our minds. They trying to get in here. You know, no matter what you do, if you can master your own intellect, your own fears, your own self-doubt, if you can master that, then nobody can get in there. But if I allow the fear they create to seep into my mind, then I've already lost. So I said, I just got to safeguard my mind. I can do that. I cannot allow the imagery of them hanging a young man to permeate my mind. I can be mad about it, but I can't let it get in here.
Mm-hmm.
I can be upset about it, but I can't let it get. I can't let it get in my children's head. And I can't see. One of our big problems with race in this country is that there's too many people still alive from that era. You know, not to say that somebody needs to kill them, they just need to die. And they need to die before they infect their youth. Right?
It's true.
And so that's the thing that's got to happen. And so in the meantime, we just got to protect our minds, our hearts, you know. And so that was my revelation, man, a couple weeks ago, because I was like, dude, I was about to crack.
Yeah, it was frustrating.
You know,
I feel you.
And I was like, yo, that's what they trying to do. And so, and you talking to a guy that had a stroke 4 years ago. So I know what it's like to be out of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And so I say, so if this is like my stroke, this country is going through what I went through. It's a certain amount of rehabilitation that has to happen, you know? And so are we seeing that in the Aunt Jemima? Are we seeing that in your white friends calling you up and go, man, is there anything I can say? Is there anything I can do? Are we seeing that in the Black Lives Matter for people that don't look black? I mean, right. That's what we were asking for, right? Mm-hmm. You know, and the more we can be clear on what we want and need, the better we can have marching order. You would never go somewhere without putting in your navigation. So you need to put in your navigation where you want to go in your career, in your life. And as we are black, you need to pull up your navigation, your life.
It's the time.
And go turn by turn, no problem. And so the final word I'll leave you with is this. You know, I get comedians always like, what do I do? Rod, man, you got any advice for a young comic? Find out what you love to do it, and don't stop. That's it. Find out, and it might not be comedy. You know I love comedy. I've been to comedy since I was 7. So find what you love to do it, and just don't ever stop. The only way you lose this game is to quit. The only way you lose the game is to quit. How many dudes that started when you started ain't doing comedy no more?
That's a fact.
They gone.
They gone.
You still here. You still here. You still got a shot.
That's a fact. Mr. Perry, aka Uncle Rodney, Rod, you know, you can call him whatever you want, but you know, I appreciate you, one, for always giving brothers and sisters opportunity to be on a platform, to be seen and heard and connect with you. And I think it speaks volumes of all the comedians that can speak highly of you, my brother. So tell us where to find you, how can we support you, and all that good stuff right now.
I mean, I'm always working, man. I believe when in doubt, work or create. So I mean, I'm an author, I'm a comedian, I'm an actor. You can go to my social media. I'm on Rodney Perry Live or Rodney Perry on everything. I got a book out on Barnes and Noble. It's called Rodney Perry Moments on My Journey.
Yes, sir.
Right here. I'm developing a couple of things right now. A prank call series I'm working on, and it's called Prank Answers. Instead of calling people, pranking them, I'm going into business and answering their phone for a day. And so I'm pranking their customers. So it's actually been really cool. I'm excited about it. So I'm gonna drop that in the next couple of months, you know. And what else? Oh, I'm in Coming to America too.
Oh, hold on. You can say that on live right now. I don't want them to come after you now, Uncle Rodney. You in there? I mean, so when is it dropping? When is it coming?
It's supposed to come out Christmas 2020.
Okay.
We don't know what that's gonna look like with the pandemic and everything, but
okay.
It's supposed to be coming out, man. It's people like myself, Lunel is in it, Tracy Morgan is in it. Of course, the people that the classic characters you remember.
Yes, sir.
You know, and I got to work with Eddie Murphy, dude. Eddie Murphy is on my top 5 always. I got to work with Eddie Murphy.
That's amazing.
So that's super crazy. So, working every day with Tracy Morgan, working with people like Lunel, who she and I go back 25 years, you know, when we was all Rudy Poots in comedy. And, Leslie Jones, of course, you know, we got a chance to work together. I mean, it was just surreal, man. Arsenio Hall, dude.
Classic.
Hall.
Classic, dude.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, thank you for taking out the time. Happy Father's Day. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. I'm going to be tuning in to your live on Tuesday, as always, supporting it. Yeah, man. Be safe.
Be ready, because when I see your name, I'm going to bring you on stage.
Yes, you are. You better. I appreciate you, Uncle Rodney. Be safe and happy Father's Day, man. Be good.
My man, Joe, Grant, thanks for letting me come in, bro. I appreciate it.
Anytime, brother.
God bless.